I want y'all to know that I have like 4 different segments that I could do. And for one of the segments, Drake came out with a poetry book. So I actually ordered it from Amazon. Nice. And I got it, and it was not his book. It was a ripoff. And with totally different content and everything. So I started a refund process, and they're like, you don't need to even return it. Here's your money.
Oh, because they already knew. They were like, these niggas that are out here acting a fool.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, I was going to come in here with my tabs, and I was...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I know what a lot of I have the gist of it from looking online, but I'm like, that disappointed me. I was trying to be a real reporter.
Thank you for the pep talk, ladies.
You're welcome. Give me just a second to pull...
You okay?
A couple of other things.
Yeah.
Up.
I'll get it together. You know I will.
I know you will. And I was like, yeah, she's like, I think it's cool that you have a podcast. And I said, well, thank you. She goes, maybe someday I can come over and be a guest. I'm like, what would you
know? I get that a lot.
Like, my sister is vying for the chance to guest.
Yes. My son is trying to get on this podcast. I'm like, well, we don't have guests. And truly, I'll be honest with you, I'm a little leery about guests because guests have to match the energy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly right.
And if they don't, then it brings the whole show down. Mm-hmm. It drags it, and I'm not trying to be dragging energy. Mm-mm. So, and they have to pop. Mm-hmm. They have to go quickly, and if they don't go quickly, then it's a problem.
Well, if we ever do something child-focused,
that's...
You know she's got the personality.
Thank you. I was about to say, you know,
actually, she may be the one that can pop.
Right?
She may be the only one that I can think of.
19 minutes, and we haven't even started the show. That's going to be a lot of editing.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Should we take a deep breath and do this again?
Yep, that's exactly what the was. My bad, host. I apologize.
There's no bad host here.
Right.
Except for that thought over there.
I mean, she pointed in my direction, but she wasn't talking about me. At least not anymore. There was a time.
So we got to get the tagline up. You hoes ready?
We ready.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. And welcome to Multiple Gab Wounds for the second time today. I'm your host, Toni.
I'm Angie.
I'm Andy.
And we're a podcast talking about some bullshit through the perspective of Gen X people of color.
Gen X women of color.
I mean, you know, there are times when I don't feel like a woman. Man,
that's
I
true.
feel like a woman. But I'm not a they. I'm always identify as she. That's
Likewise.
how I feel. Yeah.
Likewise.
So yeah, women of color. How you doing?
Hi,
I wasn't recording when we went through this the first time, so I need to tell you guys once again about the amazing set of friends that I have.
Maybe we needed this day. Maybe we needed to hear it more than once.
Right.
Let's wash it.
Right.
Let's
so
wash in it.
This
Let's
week,
just bathe in it.
Yeah, go. Yes, because I'm not saying that this is not anything that I wouldn't say, but it is heartfelt. This week has been a bit of a booger for your girl.
More than a booger.
She is spending a lot of money, getting further away from my goals, the money that I don't want to spend. Let's make that very clear, because trust me, a bitch loves to spend money.
We touched on that last week.
Right? A bitch loves to spend money, but when she got to spend thousands of dollars on some shit and then turn around, and I spent $6,000 to get my car fixed, and then turn around and get my car back, and somebody busted out my window. Then the underlining fell out of my car, and then it's just like, and then this, and then that, and I'm like,
like shit you wouldn't even imagine.
And I'm tired.
That's going to happen.
I'm tired.
And there has got to be other people out there who are going through similar shit.
Yeah.
Like, it just never stops.
It doesn't.
And some of them don't have friends to lean on.
Exactly. And like
that.
I said before we realized that we weren't recording. My friends are goals. I'm out here like singing Beyonce to these, my friends, be friends better than your friends, because they are. They're absolutely. when your girl was out here cold tripping and upset and just overwhelmed and crying, and I'm like, God, fuck, and they're like, okay, bitch, so let's get some perspective, let's get it together. So one of the things that I wanted to tell you, our audience, is that if you don't have friends, we'll be your friend. But friendship is a relationship. It's work.
Absolutely.
And so it needs to be reciprocal. So yes, you can, be out there and listening to us on a regular basis and be like, they're so funny and whatever the fuck.
Or
but
they're my friend. They're my friends in my head.
Yeah,
we can be more than that.
But we can absolutely be more than that. But it's a positive and uplifting community. We go to therapy. Well, okay, I haven't been to therapy in a while, but we go to therapy.
I go to therapy for everyone.
We try to be balanced. We try to be open and accepting and talk through our discomforts and all of those types of things and formulate plans to move forward, which is what...
And it's not always easy.
It's not.
Supposed to be easy.
And it's one of the things that they helped me with today. And I'm just having a gratitude moment for my friends today. So if you want to join us and be a friend, we're not saying to like get on the Patreon or anything. What we're saying is if you need real friends, I'm willing. Yeah. Let me put myself out there. I'm willing, because I know that when I needed it, these bitches were here. And I love them dearly for it.
If you need someone to trauma dump on, that would not be us.
Yeah, no, we're not going to trauma. Yeah, we're not going to do that.
About that.
But if you need somebody to walk you to your car at night, a bitch be carrying. So I'll feel.
I have a story about that too.
Do you really?
I do.
I was going to say, well, because
if you're going through something and you want to figure out what your next step is,
right? You want to focus.
Yeah, then that's absolutely something we can help with.
Right. We're not therapists by any stretch of the imagination. However, we're trying to be out here and being loving and kind, because this world is not, this country, this world is not loving and kind.
No. And we want to be real with each other and with whoever comes into our world. And if they need real information, we want to give that to them, like real feedback. We want to provide that, and not in a harsh manner.
Right. So, feel free, and I'm putting it out there right now. Feel free to write us emails and letters and tell us about your life and introduce yourselves to us and all of those things. Again, yes, you may feel the need to trauma dump, and go ahead and do that in your journal. But we're going to skip right over that part. I'm just going to tell you right now, because we have enough trauma of our own that we're dealing with. And we're not licensed professionals.
We're really not.
And so therefore,
we try, and
take your ass to therapy for that shit.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So I'm sorry. I thought, and I know, normally we call ourselves being funny and shit, and we'll get to laughing in a minute, but I really need for you niggas to know that today. Woo! All right, Andy, you were talking about birds before I realized we weren't recording.
So my whole thing, it's not just my birds on TikTok, but just the algorithm, and then also what people like and favorite is just eye-opening to me to see what people will enjoy. Because my most viewed video, and these birds, a lot of people don't like starlings because
yes, it was. I saw that was one of your biggest videos with the starlings when they first showed up,
and they were fighting with each other.
Oh, they were.
And I had the kung fu fighting stuff.
Yes, that was awesome.
They were. That's
Is
one
that
of my,
the one that made? I think I commented that it made me laugh out loud.
I think so. And so I'm like, really? I mean, I made sure to slow down on some parts because you could just see them fighting with each other.
That is so funny.
And so that was one of the ones. Just thought, oh, well, that's interesting, because I really love my crows, but I also like watching the cardinals feed each other and all this kind of stuff. So it's, I don't know, it's interesting. This is like another hobby for me, is watching what people like or favorite or save or forward on
it's
TikTok.
So cool. As we go about our daily lives, when we see birds, we just see birds. They're either in a tree, in a parking lot, whatever, just eating, whatever. But it's cool to be able to see them interact with each other and feeding each other.
Right.
And Creed the squirrel is my favorite.
Just shooing people off.
Gangster.
He's such a jerk.
He is. But so is Duke. So my blue jay. He's just
Duke's kind of a jerk.
He's
too.
like, get out of here.
But yeah, it's like when Creed decides that all the other birds can feed when he's not there, or when he decides that he's going to allow it.
And I love it when he runs up, because he runs up with a purpose.
Yeah,
you could just see him running like beeline straight
like,
forward.
Hey, nigga, what is you doing over here? Get your ass out from over here.
These my peanut. Thank you.
She done put this new suet out here for me, nigga. Get your ass up out of here.
And then it goes back to cooling his nuts on the window.
And be confrontational about it.
Right.
And looking around like, bitch, what?
I know. He just ready. He stay ready.
Stay ready. He's gangster. I'm telling you, I much respect for Creed. Creed the squirrel.
That shit is funny to me.
The only other thing I got is my sister-in-law mentioned going on vacation, a tropical vacation with her and my mother-in-law sometime next year. And I'm like kind of excited about that because we don't see each other very often. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen my sister-in-law in a very long time, and our sons are 2 days apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it would be nice. It would be in July of next year, and it's for my mother-in-law's birthday.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, where are we going? But my mother-in-law has to pick everything.
Your father-in-law passed like 3 years ago or so.
He passed. My dad's been.
No,
I pay attention to when my dad passed because my father-in-law passed like 3 months after.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
so my father passed in 2017. So I think it was in maybe March
of
after that is when my
okay.
father-in-law passed away. Okay. So yeah, we both lost our dads.
Yeah, around the same time, which was because when it was happening, I was like, the fuck? Oh my God.
I know.
Because my thought was, okay, at least he's here to take care of you. But then when his father, I was like, oh shit, who's going to take care of them?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's my big thing. And so like when we made a trip a few months back to go to North Carolina to see his family, I'm like, I told him we need to do this because I don't like his grandfather's getting on in years.
Yeah.
And I want him to see his family.
Yeah.
And I don't like my family, you know.
Well,
I don't know my maternal family and I don't like my paternal family. It's his family. I love his family. So
you and my husband have that in common. He doesn't like his maternal family.
So I'm just like, let's whatever we can do to further strengthen this relationship with his family.
Right.
I want to do that.
I have a gratitude moment for that as well. For like enjoying my family. Like I genuinely like them as people. They're funny to me. Right. Whenever we get together, it is a barrel of fucking laughs.
Love that.
And much love. So, you know, like even with this whole situation with this window, the first thing, when my dad got the picture, he was like, you okay? Is everything, are you all right? And I'm like, see, that's my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And people have always said this about my family is that, you know, you guys are like the Cleavers. And I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Not the fucking Cleavers, maybe the PJs,
like,
but not the Cleavers.
Going a little far.
Maybe the Jeffersons, but definitely not the Cleavers. But it's always wild to me when people don't like their families. Right. But that's because they do shit like keep secrets. Yeah. That's a huge one.
Yes.
That's a huge
God,
one.
absolutely.
People keeping secrets, and then when somebody finds out the secret, then they let everybody else know, and they're like, why are you saying that? And or they are just being downright disrespectful to one another, and
or they're racist.
Well, then there's that.
I mean, my dad's side of the family is they're all Southern Baptist conservative racists to me. Like, I mean, and I say that generally, but I know there were a few that aren't, but I'm not close to them, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yep. You,
me,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I had a couple of things happen since we last recorded. The first thing was the day we recorded. That night, me and my husband went out with a couple that we're friends with.
Drink.
We did. We had a great time.
So she didn't drag you under the table with her this time?
No, we did. I think my tolerance is up.
Ooh, yeah, lately.
I do love wine. So we went to a place called Free Play, and basically you pay one price and you're able to play all of these
all the games,
old school video games. I'm all about that pinball life.
Okay.
But I didn't really play that much because we spent most of our time drinking. But it was fun. It was fun to catch up with them. Mm-hmm. So we decided her husband was like, hey,
they got married.
Yes.
Have they always been married? No, they haven't.
No, are they married? No, they're not married.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay.
I refer to him as her
because
husband,
they've been together. Okay.
Because they've been together so long. So he was like, hey, I know this guy that works at this bar or whatever that's just right, across the street or a couple of blocks away. And I'm like, and we're all like, we're tipsy. You're like, hey, cool. So we're walking on the well-lit street, down there. And then he decides, he's like, oh, yeah, it's just right in here. And it was a shortcut through an alley.
Oh, no.
And I was like, this is...
We're not doing that.
And
we just saw the blackening.
This is a fucking setup.
Honestly, I did what I usually do because it was like him and my husband and, they were in front of us and we're just walking. And then it was like, it just hit me all of a sudden. I was like, these are dudes. They don't have the same worries.
They don't.
I stopped, reached in my bag, pulled my shit out.
And had it next
I had that shit right next to my leg. Finger wasn't on the trigger. It was on the outside. But I was like, these motherfuckers ain't finna get me killed. I don't know if I can save everybody, but they ain't finna get me killed. And so I walked, and my friend, she looked down. She was like, "Oh, you got your shit out." I was like, "Hell yeah, I got my shit out." I was like, "These motherfuckers ain't worried about walking through no alley." And so when we got to where we were almost, at the patio or whatever, I put my shit back in. I was like, all right, we cool.
And her shoe got a little cute, little bright yellow. Like the thing about the size of her hand is just the sweetest little thing. It's definitely going to, draw blood, but that might be about it.
It's enough to stop somebody.
Yeah, thank you. It's enough to thank you.
Pop them in a kneecap.
If I pop them in the right place.
Exactly.
And I did the same thing going back.
Thank you.
When we saw all the street lights or whatever, I was like, okay, let me put this shit back in.
That is so funny to me. You were like, what we're not about to do is be a movie. We're not about to be a statistic up in this motherfucker.
And it made me realize
is going to be somebody got shot up in an alley. That's what it is.
Okay. Fucking with the wrong one. And it just made me realize how it must be great to be a man.
To just be able to walk where you want
to think twice about
to be a white
man.
One was white, one was Hispanic. And it's just like, you don't even think twice about it. Oh, yeah, I'll just take a shortcut through there. I'm like, aren't you crazy? I was like, okay, let me go.
And isn't that wild, though, how we sit up there and we, like, legit are like, nah, son. Because that is a setup for us. You know what I'm saying? It
absolutely is.
You know what's even more fucked up is we used to do shit like that coming up.
Absolutely.
Without even a second guess.
Until our mortality, like, we faced our mortality
we gained
in some way.
Experience and realized, no, that's not
that we're not invincible. Shit.
Oh shit!
I was like, I am not going out in an Arlington alley. Right? Fucking kidding me? It's not even Dallas.
Right, girl, please. I would never in a Dallas alley. Fuck that. Do you understand?
At least people would understand. It's just like,
especially the things
like,
that I didn't see go down in the alley.
I mean, you can even get pissed on.
That's the most. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. That's about the most that's really gonna happen is that you're gonna step in a pool of piss or shit. Exactly. What are the two? I mean, yes, you could get rapid, but. But more likely, you're going to get shit on your shoe.
More than likely. And it'll be of the human variety.
Yeah, the human variety. Yes, girl, please.
That is unfortunate on so many levels.
When I went to that place that I'm going to be volunteering at, the very first thing that I noticed was a man overstanding by a pole pissing. I said, well, Lord, apparently they're not letting him in today. And then another, as I'm walking by, like in the bushes, there is like literally shit on the bushes. I said, oh well, Lord.
Well.
And I know a dog didn't do that.
And I can't, you know what? I can't imagine being a person that has to do that because I don't have any other means
to go.
Exactly.
You know, I thought about that like just now as you're saying that, and I'm like, well, what did I do when I was in that situation? But I was over in Venice Beach, so I would go to those horrible bathrooms.
Right.
Because they're public bathrooms. They're concrete
Yes.
bathrooms.
Yes.
So
And they hold smell.
The
yes,
rest stop
yes,
bathrooms,
yes. Like the
basically.
rest, yes, and the metal toilets and seats, and it's like you'd be lucky if there's water flushing stuff out.
Right.
And those things were god awful, but it was what I had.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I'd be like, I'm about to go piss in this bush because it's just piss.
Right.
Right. Everything else is gonna wait until I get to work in the morning.
We've all pissed in a bush. Or on the side of a road.
Thank you. On the side of a road.
Or in some
I'm
grass.
like, open both of these doors so I can stand between these doors and get this piss out.
Exactly.
And God forbid I would have shaved. Don't let there be any
Because
shaving.
then it starts spraying on
spraying
everything.
everywhere. It's like your lips are like and just wobbling the water every goddamn where. That shit is annoying as I hate shaving in public pissing.
It's gonna be fun to look up a picture for the evidence
For that,
part.
looking for that piece of information
For the website,
This
for the
is our-
website.
look at this is our clip right here.
For the visual companion to
No, I just need you to video her doing that.
So last week what did we talk about? We talked about something last week, which is making us talk about it this week. So what we've decided, the girls are like, "Oh, really? Is that what we decided?"
If you listen last week, you'll see near the end we talked about
The Wiz, right? What we've decided is that we're going to like be a little more diligent about the things that when we say, "Oh, we should do that," then actually do it. Okay, so this is the first that the women
that's scary for us.
This is the first that the women are hearing about it. They're like, "Oh, really? Is that what we're doing, bitch?" Yes, it is. We're going to be a lot more
We
diligent.
actually have to do this shit.
Like that's that. Like
We
that's
have to
going to
follow through.
Yes, exactly. That's going to be our thing.
My
We're going to follow
ADHD
through.
brain don't like that.
So you know what next week's show is going to be about because will have talked about it in this show. So last week we talked a little bit about The Wiz and we kind of went into that a little bit, but not much. So we decided we would go ahead and watch it and then come back and talk about it today. And I'm so glad that we did that because there were a lot of takes on it that I had because I hadn't seen the movie in
Years, probably.
It's been decades. It's
Oh,
been
wow.
decades. Hadn't seen it in decades. And I was like, oh yeah, that did happen. So when you asked about the subway scene, I was like, what happened in the subway scene? And then when I watched it again, I was like, yes, it did frighten me.
That is fucking terrifying, is what that is.
And that's why when y'all asked me if I watched it and I gave that answer is because I just so much trauma from my childhood watching that entire thing.
You're so right about that.
Because I'm just like looking at it now thinking, oh, that's frightening. And I was like,
terrifying.
it gave me uncomfortable feelings. Like the entire movie with different things like a fucking trash can trying to get me.
Okay, don't talk about it because Angie has some information regarding The Wiz for us.
All right.
All right. The first thing, here's the thing. I think you guys know what The Wiz is. You know what? Let me go on and just read you a synopsis just in case. Storyline. 24-year-old kindergarten teacher Dorothy, born, raised, and still working in Harlem, is celebrating Thanksgiving with her extended family, but she doesn't seem to be thankful for much. She lives a sheltered life and is shy and unfulfilled. When she gets caught in a snowstorm while chasing her dog Toto, they're transported to the mysterious land of Oz, where she informs that the only way that she can get home is through the assistance of the powerful wizard in the Emerald City. Sound familiar? I'm sure it does. As she searches for him by easing down the yellow brick road, she befriends some creatures who face problems in their lives. In their quest to find the wizard, they also face Evilene, the equally evil sister of Evilene, the wicked witch from whom Dorothy inadvertently kills when she arrives in Oz. And Evilene might be their biggest obstacle. So that's the synopsis of it. It stars Diana Ross as Dorothy, Michael Jackson as the Scarecrow, Nipsey Russell as the Tin Man, Ted Ross as the Lion, Mabel King, who, as fun fact, also played Mama on What's Happening.
What?
Yeah, as Evilene.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember. Okay.
Lena Horne as Glinda the Good Witch. Thelma Carpenter as Miss One. Richard Pryor as the Wiz. That's basically it.
Basically the cast,
That's
right?
basically the cast. So what I want to give you is just a couple of fun facts. Okay, so it was produced by Motown Productions, and it's a division of Berry Gordy's Motown Records. Gordy originally wanted the role of Dorothy to be played by Stephanie Mills, who was still a teenager.
Wow.
And she had originated the role on Broadway.
She did. That's the one I saw when I was little.
Right.
With Stephanie Mills. Right?
Yeah. And that's who he originally wanted. But when Diana Ross asked Gordy if she could be cast as Dorothy, he said no, because basically, you're 33, you're too old. Mm-hmm. Ross wasn't having it. She went around him, and she convinced the executive producer, Ron Cohen, at Universal Pictures to arrange a deal where he would produce if Ross was cast as Dorothy. Gordy and Cohen agreed to the deal, so the original director, John Badham, he stepped down when he objected to Diana Ross, and so it ended up being directed by Sidney Lumet. So
the director objected to Diana Ross
so vehemently that he was like,
"Fuck that! I'm not going to do it."
Exactly. First choice of the role for Evilene was Eartha Kitt. I could see that.
I could too.
I mean, I love what they. I love that they chose Mabel, but
yeah, I was about
totally
to say. Unfortunately, I mean, I can see how Eartha Kitt would absolutely like rock that role, but Evilene actually with Mabel King,
it's iconic. But
honestly, because she was just this big presence.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, what I'm saying? Yes,
she was just a very huge presence, and so I'm like, Eartha, you do have it, but
she's got kind of a sultry thing.
Yes.
We needed that.
We needed that big presence.
Yes, we needed to be able to when she eventually met her. Exactly. Yes. When she eventually met her demise, we need to be able to breathe that sigh of relief.
Yes.
Good. Yep. But she was also lovable, in her bigness.
No, she wasn't. She was a horrible bitch. That's what she was. That was what the whole situation about.
Maybe
she was a hoe ass, mean, disgusting, despicable, holding curses over, bitch ass, punk ass, greasy ass.
I think maybe as adult me respects that a little bit because I have been jaded and life has kicked my ass and now I'm just mean and part of me wants to be Evilene.
Nah, fuck that. I was gonna say because let me tell you, she was not taking no bad news.
She was getting ready to throw that dog in the fire. Be throwing
like, I'm not playing with you if you don't give me those.
What do you want you on your hot dog?
Right. She was like, give me those motherfucking shoot, bitch! I'll throw your dog in the fire
in front of you.
And see, I don't see. And the way I see it with Eartha Kitt, bitch, I'll throw your dog on the fire. Give me those shoes. Tell me that wasn't Eartha Kitt.
That was perfectly Eartha Kitt. I love that you can do imitations. That was perfect. And as you did that, I was like, yeah, that wouldn't have been right.
Give me those shoes, darling. Darling. She had to do it with a trill.
The Scarecrow, Michael Jackson. And I noticed this probably for the first time. And I have seen this movie 100 times because I just fucking love it. I own it on DVD. I watch it at least once a year. Mm-hmm. That his nose, I was trying to figure out.
It looked like a Reese's Pieces.
It's exactly what it was.
It bothered me through the whole movie.
It was the paper that holds a Reese's peanut
Jesus,
butter cup.
I knew it!
And I didn't really notice it until the end, and I kept staring at it, and I was like, holy shit, is that a Reese's peanut butter?
Yes. It was, but you know what? I have always seen that and always knew that. Like, it didn't, and I was like, oh, that's ingenious. And like, to a degree, but y'all were bothered by that shit?
It bothered me. I just...
As many times as I had seen it before, I always thought, like, why did they make his nose like that? It's not very Scarecrow-like. Did they just get lazy?
Basically, because that was a nigga nose. It was like smashed and
spread
out.
That was before chocolate. The surgery. Someone was eating chocolate like, what is he eating?
And I didn't notice until last night when I was watching it up close. I was like,
that is funny.
Holy shit, because I saw the little ridges on the outside.
Yes.
Like, they stuck a Reese's peanut butter cup
on that nigga nose.
Okay. All right, I see what happened. Okay.
Now, can you imagine? Because I think that's one of the thoughts that stayed with me is that, did it smell like peanut butter the whole time?
I know, right? Which I'm not opposed to.
I'm trying to
I'd
think.
be hungry.
Michael Jackson, he was a Jehovah's Witness then, so he could eat it.
Yeah, he could eat it.
Yeah, he could eat it.
Yeah.
Okay, eat that. He was like, every day he'd be like, I need my Reese cup. Thank you.
And they're like, okay, boop.
Oh, you done? Just
leave a little
that on your nose.
Just leave a little bit of peanut butter to stick it on your nose.
And why do we say Reese cup? It's not Reese, it's Reese's.
I
But
say
we-
Reese's.
I say Reese.
I say racist.
Come get your racist cup.
That's because we all got issues.
Oh, don't get me started.
The original person considered for the part of the Scarecrow was Jimmy J.J. Walker.
Oh, no.
He turned it down.
I
That's how we got
see
Michael.
that. I can see that.
I can see that.
I can
It would
see
have been
that.
a great role for him. He would have been over the top.
But see, here's the deal though, because like I'm thinking about the singing in the movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the fact that Michael's voice really honestly was too good for the Scarecrow. Let's be real about it.
I mean,
That's
why I love that song so much, because I was like, sing it, Michael. Come on.
Yeah. Diana, we expected, or I'm saying Diana, Dorothy, we expect. She's the lead, so she needs to have a voice, and she's doing a lot of singing. But Ted's voice wasn't that great.
No.
He had a good Broadway voice. It didn't translate to
Right.
film that well.
And Nipsey's voice wasn't that great. As
He's
you
not
know,
known
his
as a
character.
singer.
He's
Yes,
he's
he's not.
charismatic, but he's not.
Yes, because he's not a singer.
He was very
And
handsome,
so,
though.
yes, he was, wasn't he? And if you notice, most of his, so to speak, singing wasn't actually singing.
No.
It was like talk singing.
Yes.
Yes.
So.
What I do.
Right.
Same.
So, to have Michael up there, like, really kind of carrying it, I was like, that's a balance of power thing. But,
Right.
of course, we love to hear Michael sing, so we'll
do,
let it
so we
pass.
will do
Right.
it.
It was
Yes.
pure. It was just
It,
so
it
pure.
really was. It
Right.
was. So this was the first role in which Richard Pryor would actually wear his mustache
Oh, really?
that we know him iconically for. And Robin Givens, she debuted as a guest at Aunt M's party. At Thanksgiving.
I'm trying to think of what part that
I
was.
could not think of what it was.
I feel like maybe it might have been no, because when I looked at that woman, that she didn't look like anybody that I knew. When Aunt M was like, "You're gonna be okay, baby," but like when they were sitting at the table at the very beginning, and she put her hand on somebody's shoulder, this
Right.
woman's shoulder, and said, "Everything's gonna be fine, baby," or some shit like that.
Was that her?
That's what I was
I
thinking.
should pull the movie.
Yeah,
up, but
now
I'm
we're
not
gonna have
going
to.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find an image, and I can't find anything.
I don't know if y'all remember that when the Flying Monkeys first came in and they were talking to Evilene, the first thing he said is, "What's happening?" Get it? Get it?
Yeah.
Didn't know that until last night. And I was like, son of a bitch. I've seen this movie 300 times. So, that's pretty much it.
So let's take it from the beginning, and we're gonna go quick because we're gonna go quick because we can talk about this all day. So
Okay.
in watching this movie, I remembered, I was like, oh, okay, I totally forgot that this took place in New York, right? And that it was not the ghetto, so to speak.
Yeah, but it was kind of the hood.
Yeah, it was the hood,
version.
but
Harlem,
yeah,
if you
so
will.
that's it. It was Harlem, right?
I believe so, yes.
And so one of the things, or the critiques, I guess I could say about this movie, is that everything was so quick and rapid, and she got to Oz quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I was like, oh shit, they did that quick.
But before she got to Oz, that whole scene of them, that family gathering, I could smell that scene, and it smelled amazing. Because it's like the first thing they showed was that turkey and that cake that she was putting in the refrigerator. That shit looked good as fuck. Also, that ham she was carving, and it just brought back all this nostalgia. Even the glasses that they had, those like little brown glasses, I was like,
oh my gosh,
those were filled with sweet tea.
Right.
And I was just like, oh man, I want one of those dinners where it was just like,
I know it's been, look at Thanksgiving, hurry up, let's go.
But it's still not the same as back then. like we can create it however we
Yeah,
want to,
but
but
it's
there's
not
something
the
about that
same.
nostalgic holidays.
It's
Yeah.
gotta be the decor. It's gotta be the dinnerware. It's gotta be, it's gotta be them bumped bangs, them pressed and bumped bangs.
That's funny.
It's gotta be all of that.
And then I don't think I ever really realized that Dorothy's character was a teacher. Right. And I was like, oh, look at that. I think that the good thing about the movie, like one of the good things about the movie, because I'm going to do a compliment sandwich here, was the fact that the movie was black as fuck. And I loved that it was black as fuck. I always loved black as fuck movies. I love movies that are for us, by us. Like, even back then, white people were not going to get it. But one of the things that Andy was saying, that movie was dark.
That's what I wrote here. It's like, this shit started out dark and creepy.
It was dark.
When they start coming off the walls, I was like, that's creepy.
It was.
Especially because I instantly got, what was it? Us vibes because of them popping out, but you couldn't see anything but just the shadow, the silhouette. And it reminded me of when the others started coming out and you couldn't see who they were, what they looked like. It was just very eerie.
It was.
It was.
It was.
And I think that that's probably one of the things that made me weird as a kid about that movie. And not just even the movie, but the play as well. And I think that's why those fucking monkeys scared the dog shit out of me.
Because they were fucking crazy.
They were weird looking. And they looked weird in the play as well. They looked and I'm saying weird, but it's like there was very little that was comforting about this movie. The only comforting parts about the movie were Glenda the Good Witch. Well, I'm saying Glenda. Did we call her Glenda in the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Lena Horne.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Glenda the Good Witch, she was comforting. Auntie M was comforting.
I think Miss One was kind of comforting.
I'm trying to remember which one Miss One was.
She was the one that did the first singing number.
That told them to
the
go.
first Good Witch.
But she was kind of...
That was running numbers.
Yeah, but that...
Let's get back to running our business.
Which was
so
funny to me because I was like, that's nigga shit right there if I ever saw it.
And I love it.
Right, exactly.
I'm here for all of it.
But yeah, there was very little that was kind of comforting about that movie and the play even. So that definitely wasn't for kids.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly.
I was thinking the same thing. I love the movie, but that's as an adult. As a kid, I think it would have scared. First of all, it would have bored me. The first scene when they were having the Thanksgiving dinner. And then when she got to Oz, that would have scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not true trauma, but I have those feelings of just discomfort and unease from watching. So it just all came rushing back to me when I did the rewatch on it.
Did you guys see Quincy Jones in it?
We did, playing the piano.
Yes.
He made sure his face was seen.
He turned right around. Nigga, it's me. I scored this bitch.
Yeah, he did.
Niggas.
I loved every bit of that.
You better look at me and pay me my coins, bitch. This
Put
all
some
me.
respect on my name.
Right, because every time we run the Wiz, he get a little royalty check is all I'm saying. That nigga is rich.
My goal in life is to go to an Emerald City party.
Okay, wait.
I know we got to get. When they first got there and they're like, "Gold is
Okay,
gold."
I was thinking of like a stripper joint. I was like, wait,
because I was like, hold on. You know that here in Dallas we had an Emerald City and that shit got shut the fuck down.
I was like, oh, okay, shit.
No,
I would have gone to that.
No, you wouldn't have. Let me tell you right now. Talk about a speakeasy, but like with true nigga shit. No, thank you.
Then there's that.
Yeah, the last time I went, I almost got into a debacle. Is all I'm saying.
So before she met the Scarecrow, she sang my least favorite song of the whole movie. It was like, as soon as I get home, I usually fast forward through that shit.
Wait a minute. Like, no, not the home song.
No.
Okay.
Another one.
Okay.
And then, they show the crows,
which
which were giving me Dumbo vibes.
Yes, very much so.
Very uncomfortable.
And I didn't love that. It felt
because it was racist.
Yes,
it was.
And and the reason I give them a pass and not Disney is because niggas,
right?
It's FUBU. That's situation
true.
was FUBU, and so I was like, okay, that's the only reason you get a pass is because fucking Quincy Jones did this shit.
And I thought the same thing. And then as soon as Michael started singing, I forgot about all of it. I was like, you can't win.
Right. And how is it that I sit up there and I do a whole body roll? You can't win. You know what I'm saying?
Girl, I watched it at like midnight, and I know my husband's trying to sleep, right? And
I don't give a
I'm
fuck.
singing all the songs, just along thinking I can sing and everything.
That is
It's
funny.
like they do that, and then they not immediately, but then they go into the first time that they sing "Ease on Down the Road." And lost my goddamn mind. Again.
Don't you carry nothing that might be a load. Come on, ease on down the road. Yeah, shit.
Girl,
you
couldn't tell me nothing.
Okay, and then from there, they were easing on down the road, and then they went to the amusement park, and then they met up with the Tin Man.
Yes.
Which I thought it was so funny when he was like, said something to the effect of, the Lord bless me with the ability to make bad decisions regarding women or some shit like
my
that.
dashing good looks, my charming wit, and ability
to make bad decisions with women or something like that.
I
And
love that,
thought
'cause
that shit was hilarious.
Well, because he's such a handsome man.
He was.
My God.
He was.
And the teeny.
That's funny. And I forgot all about that. Like there was so much that I got from this movie because I had forgotten so much about the movie because it had been forever since I'd seen it.
I blocked it out.
You know what? Honestly, that could very well be most of it right there, is just being like, nah, son. Nah.
I sang that song, all of those songs too. I just fucking love this movie.
Yeah, the songs are, don't get it twisted. The songs were definitely the highlight of it.
Right.
And you, to a degree, needed to have been a fan to be able to like really kind of appreciate the music. And then also me knowing that this was like a Quincy Jones project, and
Absolutely.
he's one of my all-time favorite composers.
Exactly. I was going to say, he didn't just give suggestions. His ass was writing music. He composed this shit.
And Quincy Jones is gangsta. Let me tell you something.
He's one of the originals.
He's honestly, truly, him and Dave Grohl, those would be like, oh, I die now. That type of thing. Because Quincy Jones, and although I know that man is like almost in his 90s.
Right.
And he's still out here putting in some stuff and spicy in his mouth because he don't give a fuck.
No.
He's like, I got one foot in the grave. I don't give a fuck about y'all's fame, y'all's fortune, or nothing. I'm like,
I'm motherfucking Quincy Jones, bitch.
I was going to say, he earned that shit.
Yeah,
he did. He did. And has been in the game since the 40s.
Exactly.
Do you hear me?
Right.
The 40s.
Composing since the
being
fucking
literally
40s.
being a kid in this industry, and now he's
a fucking legend.
Yes,
Legend.
And he deserves every bit of it because
Absolutely.
he has put out so much good work and known the best
Shit that we don't even know about.
Absolutely.
And we'll probably never know about because it's just
Here's
that
what I
prolific.
can't wait for, because I know it's coming. His book. When he dies,
I'm gonna read the fuck out of that.
I'm certain there's a book that's coming out because he done started already telling people's business in that book. Okay, he done
I love it when people business get told.
He has already started telling people's business. That shit that he told about the Wiz. Richard Pryor.
Oh, Richard.
Oh, really?
Girl.
I didn't know.
That him and Marlon Brando fuck? Girl, okay.
That Pryor in?
Yes, girl.
Oh, well, okay.
Not
Good
that
for them.
not that I have a problem with it. I'm just saying.
Right.
You
Good for
nobody who the fuck says that? Quincy.
Right.
And some other shit that he had come up with. I said, "Oh, okay. I'm just waiting because
Right,
I know
I'm
that
just
you
gonna
can't
wait
say,
for all the
yeah,
tell-all.
I know that you can't say nothing about it now because you're still alive and all this, that, and the other. But when he passes away, he's like,
There's some memoirs.
Just
that's coming.
bury him in a teapot so he can spill it.
Exactly that.
Yes, ma'am.
Because he's going to, and I got no qualms with that shit
Right.
whatsoever.
So then we meet the lion.
Right. So then we meet the lion, and I forgot about how the lion even kind of came into the whole situation, but he was at the front of the library, which I just thought was very cool. And that was so great
they
because
did that on
was
a soundstage because
they had to.
Yeah.
They had to.
Because there's no way they could have gotten
No, they couldn't have done that in the city. But that was actually very cool because in New York, there is some huge, I want to call it the Metro Library or something to that effect, that is this huge library. Whoa, you saw it, Night at the Museum.
Oh, okay.
With the two lions in the front.
Right.
That's
like a callback to that.
Yes, that was to that. And so when they were like, that lion is checking us out. Right.
I know. Even a Timmy like me, no, a stone lion can't check you out. My favorite line is when he's singing and he says, I'm ready to fight. I'll turn your day into night because I'm a mean lion.
Yes, you are. You so mean lion. Whoa.
And then after that was that fucking terrifying subway scene.
Yeah, right. And that Andy's like, must we talk about it?
Every time, and I'm telling you, I have seen this movie so many times. Every time I see it, I'm just like, that is fucked up.
It is. So they're down there. Let's just go ahead and call it right now. Every time you see some niggas go down in a subway and there ain't nobody in that subway, there's going to be some fuckery afoot. It happened in The Wiz. It happened in The Matrix. It happened in, what's that damn movie with Michael Ealy? Shit, where he was playing the trauma. I don't know, but they did some shit like that every time.
Subways ain't supposed to be
Subway's
empty.
not supposed to be empty ever.
Oh, like Cloverfield.
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah.
Thank you. Or if there's just one person in the subway and they
turn around.
Thank you. They seem to be minding their own business then they look over their shoulder. Go ahead on and leave. Go ahead and grab a cab.
Right.
You need an Uber?
Just pay the extra. It's
Ask
fine.
me. I'm going to help you with that because this is about to be some shit. If I was actually in New York and went down to the subway and wasn't nobody in there, I'd be like, nah.
Nope.
Nah, I'm gonna go ahead on and call me.
Try to hail this cab. They might not stop for me, but I will stand here.
Be like, I know
for the
they won't
next
stop
7
for me,
hours.
but what we're not about to do is this.
Right.
Not.
You're gonna go underground alone, nigga. Please.
Thank you. And so.
Imagery.
Yeah, so when the guy comes down with the two little puppets, and then
they do it. Oh God!
They just sat there and they looked at that nigga. I was like, first and foremost, he snuck down there. I don't like that. You don't sneak
I don't even
nowhere.
like the way he looked.
Thank you. You don't sneak nowhere in this motherfucker. And then he snuck his ass down there and didn't say nothing and just sat there and looked at you and then started bouncing the little motherfuckers and them little motherfuckers are getting bigger and bigger. The moment that I noticed that it had doubled in size, I'd have been like, hey, get your shit, let's go. This movie was so like counterintuitive to what niggas do because let me tell you, we fucking sat there and watched those niggas get big and then come after us.
I would have pushed his ass on the track and then ran up the stairs.
Thank you.
Like, I hope y'all coming.
Like, cause the first instant was like, oh hell no, and walk out.
Right.
And then they separated.
Thank you. Niggas don't separate. We're not separating.
No,
I mean, unless the police are chasing us. That's the only time we separate. Then we split off. You can't catch us all, nigga.
Right.
That's a whole nother story. However, when it comes to like, I'm scared. You grabbing your bitch
and you
going
running
right
like this way. And that's what the fuck we doing. But after you push his ass onto the third rail and electrocute his ass.
Right. Everybody's all splitting up and shit. And I was like, this is making me bonkers. And then the part where I thought that I literally had to go back and watch it like 2 or 3 times was when the Tin Man was standing in front of that pillar and the electrical pieces came down.
Yeah.
But in actuality, that was like a little special effect thingy because it had to have been that the electrical things were going up.
Yeah.
So, and I was watching because I was like, why is his head movement so weird? Oh, we're doing a special effect.
That was 1976.
Yes.
Special.
So his eyes would go, and then his head would go in that direction, and then his eyes would go, and then his head would go in that direction. And I said, "Oh no, they should have told him to keep his eyes straight." Yeah, don't knock on this door. We're in the middle of the podcast. Bring your ass inside. I said, "Come in."
This is where you would have to suspend a little belief, and you don't have
she has trouble with that.
She does. She doesn't have a good record of that.
I am the absolute worst at that. Hi, Cubby. We're in the middle of the show.
You didn't tell me about all this.
You know, every Saturday at noon, this is where we at. This is what we be doing.
Hello.
Hello, friends and family. I was gonna say my
Hey.
stud muffin has walked through the door. How you doing?
Yes, the fuck he has.
What you guys doing?
I'm gonna put it on pause for just a second.
That's fine. Let me let my ears breathe.
Yeah.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So, what the fuck were we talking about?
I'm just waiting for it to be like, what's squirting? So we were still going through the subway,
Right.
Yes.
So,
And how unbelievable
terrifying, and how like this was the least niggerish part of the movie because we don't be splitting up like that. Mm-hmm. We stay together. Oh, and we're talking about the special effects with his head going the wrong way. Okay.
Yes.
So I watched that part like 3 times because I was like, what the fuck is wrong with his face? And then I realized, oh, they're doing a special effect and he's not doing it right. But it's all good. It still did what it was supposed to do. It's
exactly.
cool. And so, you know, there's all of that happening, and the lion is being very courageous at this juncture, which I'm like, and I remember thinking that when I was little, I was like, I thought he didn't have no courage. He is out here saving everybody. I remember that.
That's
part.
An exact quote. And that's the way she used to speak. I thought he didn't have no courage.
But I think the part that terrified me the most on that part of the movie was when they were all in the trash can, all in the dumpster.
We're safe now.
And they thought they were safe. And then all of the monkeys came there.
When
and
you
I was
saw
like,
the other things being drawn back.
Yes.
And
I, number one, thought that was an amazing effect back when I was little. But more so than that, I was like, oh, they are trapped. They gonna die. And I said it just like that. He is trapping. Lord Jesus, there's a fire.
After the subway scene was when they went to the Poppy perfume company.
Oh,
my goal in life is to be a Poppy perfume company dancer,
which I thought was just
like,
that.
I was like,
slap my own ass.
That scene, that production made me realize that
that's
was not,
right. That's right.
not for
Okay,
children.
I got it wrong. I got it wrong. Okay, I got it wrong. That's right. I got the sequencing wrong. Okay,
and then
yes.
after that was my second least favorite of the favorite songs of the movie is the "You're a Lion" song.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, please be done with this.
See, and that was the only part that I ever liked about that song was. You're a lion.
Yes,
that's
that last part I liked.
That's the only part that I would ever remember. And that's the funny thing about it is that my entire life I've been singing just little parts of the song because the rest of the shit because the rest
all that matters. Exactly.
The rest is something I don't like, except for
like,
just that one. Like, you can't ask me the rest of the lyrics too. You can't win. That's all I know, bitch.
I actually do know all the rest of the lyrics.
Well, that's because you don't like any negative, ugly spirits. And so you're like,
right.
I'm just keeping that creepy shit out of my mind.
Right.
I block it
and
all
that was
out.
all ugly spirit. And I was here eating it up. I was like, yeah, I can't win either.
So after the subway scene, yes, then it was the Poppies, and then Dorothy and the lion got all drunk and shit. And I'm like, why are you smelling things? You know full and well that this place is chock full of pitfalls and dangers and quicksand.
I don't
and
think
y'all
they did,
bitch asses be out here just be like, oh, this is glitter. Let me smell it.
Of
And what
course
are you
they do.
doing?
The Tin Man and the Scarecrow knew, but Dorothy ain't never been there before.
Okay, but she just went through some fucked up subway shit.
That's true.
So you gonna get the sniffing
That's
shit?
true. Just smelling stuff, people throwing glitter in your face. You're like, oh, let me see what this smells like.
But more so than that, the fact that it was called Poppy perfume, knowing
Right.
full and
What Poppy is.
that is harsh. That is opium, honey, is what we were looking at right there. They were like, they're opium high. And then you hear Dorothy and they're like, I'm really thingy. And I'm like, what the fuck? And here go Michael Jackson, Dorothy, wait.
I'm really not going to fault them because I bet they felt pretty goddamn good.
They looked miserable.
You know, I'm just saying.
They were like,
I mean, I don't know a lot about opioids, but I bet
I was like,
they were pretty blissful for a little while.
What they were dealing
the
with.
way they were standing there, like,
right?
Waving around.
I'm like, oh, that's not really what high looks like, though. I know what it looks like, and that's not it.
Do you know what an opioid high
You know what?
like?
I don't. No, we don't. And that was, okay, so that's what that was. It was an opioid high. So maybe they do be waving around.
That was that Oxycontin high.
Like those big
things outside when they're for sale.
The big airman when they be like, whoop. That's a clip right there. So and then they went up there, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, what was going to happen to them? All that happened is that they got dumped on the roof.
On a slide. They got to be high and ride a slide. Why doesn't that happen to me?
And Michael Jackson and Ted are like, oh, is this it? Y'all okay? Okay. Let me cry on you. I'm like, oh, just a little. You could have spat on them for that to get some moisture on their faces to wake their asses up. Right. Little piss on the face. Wake your ass right up. Instead of, that's tahi. Which
then they made their way to Emerald City.
Right, because then they could see it. They were
party.
like, there it is over there. Right there. Like, it just happened to be right the fuck over there.
We just had to get high to see it.
see, there it is right there. There's the metaphor. They had to get high.
I was thinking
the whole movie has metaphors.
The whole movie is a high movie.
Yeah.
You need to be high to watch this whole movie. For it to make perfect
rewatch
sense.
it.
I'm like, we need to do another episode where we get high and watch The Wiz. I'm in.
Wasn't saying
and excited,
but it seems like you might have to get high on opium. Is all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah, we don't know nothing about that opium life. And so you said, so when they got to Emerald City and they're in there, you said you want to be an Emerald City dancer.
No, I just want to be part of that party.
Because it was just, and I was like, why are they changing colors? Why are they talking colors?
But it also shows, I think that's kind of another metaphor of just like, you go with what's in trend right now. You're following the crowd. You're just going with what's trend. Whatever one person sets the tone and you look up to this person and you don't know anything about them.
Right.
But because what they said, you're just going to follow them blindly.
And that's what they did. And I thought it was very interesting when they did that.
Changed to red and she was like, And I was like, yes, bitch.
What's it say?
I actually like what some of them are wearing, and I was just like, I need to be a part. I need to get high and be a part of this Emerald City party because that looks fun as hell. At least until I'm drained and I'm like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, that's too many people and fuckery for me. But they did red, green, and gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which,
Gold,
Jamaica, come on.
Yes.
Gold is when we saw Quincy just like,
exactly. Quincy Jones.
I'm in this bitch.
Pay me my coins, run me money.
You see my whole face.
Thank you. He was like, what you're not about to do is miss me in my cameo in this motherfucker. And so when they got called up there and he's like, bring me the bitch with the shoes. I said, uh-oh.
And no riffraff.
Right. And honestly, there should have been a lot more cussing in this movie for what it was, because this was not for kids.
No,
so
it
it's
really
like there needed to be more cussing, but there was none whatsoever.
And that's hard. I think that's hard for me to reconcile because it's obviously not for children, but they didn't take it to the next level. Right. So y'all in this weird, creepy. Well, the kids can see it because there's no cussing, but they really shouldn't see it because that's some creepy shit.
That's some shit that's gonna scar him for life.
It did though.
It scarred my oldest. He doesn't like that subway scene. Still fucks him up, and he's in his 30s.
He's like, nah, son. No,
like, no, I'm not. I don't see it the same way you do, Mama. I'm like, but it's nostalgia. He's like, no, man.
So they get up there. And they're just, and I think it's very cool how they got this big silver face. And
I love that it had an afro.
Yes.
I just love all
the big
afros.
silver face. And, they're like, he's like, go kill Evilene. And then when they leave, there's this little teeny tiny head that pops up in the eyeball.
I love that.
Talking about them niggas gone yet. I was like,
it was so perfect.
I was like, oh, who is that? I thought that was very cool.
I thought it was cool too.
So it was, and then when they got to the workshop, it was the sweatshop is what it was. Yes. And I felt a sheen come over my body.
Of course you did.
I felt the warmth and the heat and the moisture that was emanating from this place.
The sweat that they were making.
And this was some good, the director of photography shit, if I ever saw it, because I felt moist. I felt soppy.
And
I felt stank.
If there's one thing she don't like being moist.
I don't.
Saying a word.
I don't. There's very specific situations in which moisture is essential, but not when you're watching a movie. Well, I guess it depends on the kind of movie. But this is not that kind of movie. You're not trying to be moist during the movie. But I was like, ooh, DP, you did a great job, because I felt greasy. Mm-hmm. I felt hot. Yes. I mean, it could have been the hot flashes.
I felt hot. No, okay. Okay, again, it could have been the hot flashes, because I get night sweats.
Girl, I don't want to talk about that either.
I was watching a lot of bouncing booties.
They were nice booties.
They were. So there was all of that, and the meanness, and then she reaches, and the part that is like the quintessential scene for me when I think about that movie is when Evilene reaches for the shoes and her fingers curl backwards.
Right.
That is, whenever I think of the movie, that's the scene that I think of.
Right.
Yeah. That specific scene. And I rewound that like 3 or 4 times. I was like, yes, this part makes me feel good. I like the bad guy getting hurt. Yeah, fuck that bad guy.
In the most fucked up way possible. Because that's pretty fucked up.
Yes, and it was pretty fucked up. You go to reach for some shit and your fingers were like, no.
Backwards.
No.
Not just bend backwards, but
roll around like Fruit Loops. No, not Fruit Loops. What's the word I'm looking for? Fruit roll-ups. Like a nigga fruit roll-up. Was rolling backwards. They were not about to. Your fingers were smarter than you and knew better than you did. They were like, no.
That's part of the title, by the way. Nigga fruit roll-up.
And I thought that was like so cool, but like I'm glad they went with Mabel King for that, because she was perfect. To me, she was perfect.
Absolutely
for that role, and to me, she's quintessential to
just her gait, her
the way she walked, it was just so just big and presence. And honestly, if there's gonna be like a favorite villain, she would be it. And not even
I knew it, because I was watching it thinking, I was like, Toni, she
I identify with this.
She kind of identifies with Evilene. I am Miss One, but I see that.
I was insane, and I just loved her presence in the movie, and the fact that she was just like, and she was loud the whole time, nothing quiet and soft about her, and and I was like, God damn, that took a lot of energy to do that.
I thought the same thing. I was like, I wonder how many takes that took, if she was exhausted,
right. That. And so when they go to, and that's also a quintessential part of the movie to me, is when everyone was getting destroyed.
God, that's just another thing a kid should not see.
Yeah. It's true, because Michael Jackson, right. Oh my God, when Michael Jackson got torn in half, I cried. I remember specifically watching that and crying, because I was so upset that Michael Jackson was being ripped to
That
shreds.
is a visceral thing, because this is literally someone being torn apart.
Yes.
You're not supposed to see that as a child.
And he says it doesn't hurt. It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. You're being
if it helps you, it doesn't hurt. No, bitch, it hurts me.
Right. As an adult, last night I'm looking at that and I'm wondering, how the fuck did they do that? Because You know, it's like, that was obviously him. You know, I'm sure it was just his head and hands.
Right.
But I was like, that saw was still a little too close.
Oh no, when that's a old magician's trick. There's plenty of that all over the place.
I still think it was too close.
Too close for comfort. You were like, that ain't.
I will say that this scene is the scene where I liked Diana's performance because her reaction to what each one is going through seems so authentic. Like I won't speak on the rest of their acting for the rest of the movie.
There's a lot of overacting.
Yes. And I have deliberately not spoken on that shit because I was like,
fine. It's what we do. It's
fine. It is what it is, and it was supposed to be caricature. It's supposed to be big. It's supposed to be all of this. Although, yes, Diana is a horrible actress.
I thought she did pretty good.
I
mean, she overacted a lot.
Yes,
but I still think
so much overacting.
This scene, it worked. This scene, it worked.
Yes, because it was a high energy scene,
It was
and
horrific.
it needed that. Yes.
Well.
Also, the most quintessential part to me, two more parts, is when Evilene died, and the thing just went
like a toilet.
Literally you said like a toilet. I didn't even think about that. What I thought about was, it's smashing her like a tortilla maker. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I thought of it as a flush and then the lid on the toilet.
Yeah. And you know what? That's better, actually. That is better because that's exactly where that was going. And then
Turn your fan
I
on.
am. I'm getting ready. Do you see me?
Sheen.
The sheen
I
coming
see the
through.
sheen. I see the fan.
Right, because I'm like, oh Lord, it's hot in here. The part that I also remember, and that is quintessential to me, is when the old skins were coming off.
Yes.
And so when the people were emerging, these beautiful people were emerging from under those, thick skins and and the costumes, and they're glistening and shining and just being beautifully fucking black,
Like they were reborn.
Many times as I've seen this movie, I had goosebumps through the entire Brand New Day the entire thing. And
girl, I've got the Brand New Day song in rotation.
I do too. It's on one of my playlists.
It is on rotation. And I mean, I don't always want to hear it, and sometimes I'm like, fast forward.
Right.
But there are days when I'm just like, the energy in that song, particularly with Diana Ross singing it and Michael Jackson's part, like, it was beautiful. And then you could see when she's singing it in the movie.
I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
You see the veins on that bitch's neck when she was singing
that shit.
Oh, she was. And I think she was truly singing it. And they were probably like, bitch, we got... So settle down.
Right. Cut. You got home to sing at the end. And you gonna feel that. So just calm down a little bit.
Cut, girl. She was feeling that shit. And I was like, bitch, if you don't sing the fuck out of that song, that's one of my favorite songs of the whole movie.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Goosebumps. Like I said, we can't even talk about it without me getting goosebumps. I love that.
I like that you're getting goosebumps over there and she's overheating over
here.
I know,
right? I'm about to cut my fucking hair off. That's what I'm about to do.
That's not what that's not going to happen.
I know, right? It took 10, 15 years to put this hair on my ass.
Okay.
Although it is literally falling right in the crack of my ass.
Isn't that fun?
No, that's disgusting.
I remember that.
It's disgusting.
It only happened to me once, and then I immediately began the habit of pulling it over my shoulder.
I can't go to the bathroom without pulling my hair over my shoulder.
Can't have hair in the crack of my ass.
No.
Don't care whose hair or what form it takes. It can't be in the crack of my ass.
His doo-doo chunks. Doo-doo. I mean, there's no doo-doo chunks way back up there, but I'm just saying.
I was going to say, how long did you hold it? I know. What were you trying to do?
And why are you wiping up like that? You're not supposed to wipe up until your ass crack.
I thought the bidet took care of that.
Maybe you should just get in a tub.
Yeah, take a bath, bitch, because you're not supposed to have doo-doo up there.
This tangent brought to you by Doo-Doo.
Yeah. Depends. We're going to need you to sponsor us.
Brought to you by the Wiz. So then there was that part, and that was like, this big, huge thing, and then come to find out, they go and they tell the Wiz, Evilene is dead. But come to find out, the Wiz ain't the Wiz.
Right.
The Wiz is
just some nigga in a blanket.
Right. But what was interesting,
but I felt bad for him.
Why did they? Here's what I needed to know though, because I said, well, why did they do that? The head was up. Mm-hmm. And it was being big and fiery and blowing out fire
earlier.
Why was it down on the ground the second time? Who did that? What did somebody come? Did somebody know the secret that they came and they took the head down and laid it on the ground? And he was like, "Ooh, I'm tired."
I think the Wiz was going through some depression issues.
Just walked on down and then go lay in the bed. Just leave it up there. Why are you taking that down? That's more trouble than it's worth. When they come back, you're gonna have to put it back up again.
They didn't have Prozac or therapist
or none of that shit,
had
Lord Jesus.
A little fit of rage or whatever, mental breakdown. Pushed the head over and it's like, I'm just going to lay under this blanket.
Well, also he's a politician,
which
so
I understand.
They don't think.
Which is interesting because, of course, that it is a talking head, which is what we call our politicians,
nice.
Right? And so
Just
is this?
That.
Yes, absolutely. So that is one of the things that we do with our politicians is that we hold them to these high standards, and we think that they do these big, incredible things when we are learning on the daily that them niggas ain't shit. You know, they ain't shit as people, as human beings. Oh my God, I'm so tired of them. But that's another story. We're not getting into that.
What I did love is that
that's something I can't control.
Once Glenda the Good Witch got there, Lena Horns, she decided she was going to feel every bit of that song. She was going to make Dorothy believe in herself.
She did.
She said, woo, yeah. Believe in yourself.
She really did.
I was like, come on, Lena.
Sing it, Lena. Sing it. And Dorothy was
she was feeling all of it.
Yeah, and Dorothy was like, all I had to do was click my heels together. And I could have went home. Bitch, why the fuck you ain't tell me the moment I dropped up in this bitch?
But she was mesmerized by all the babies around her.
That was funny. The little babies that were just kind of hanging there. Babies. That shit was hilarious to me. And they were all looking at her like, huh?
Fun fact, all of those babies that they did the close-ups on, those were related to the cast members.
Of course, yes.
And then the ones in the backgrounds were dolls.
Oh, they were dolls.
Yeah,
oh,
the ones in the back, but the ones that they focused on.
Yes.
Because I was like, oh, look at those babies. And I was like, they my age.
They are now. They are now.
These some old middle-aged ass niggas.
They were like, you know what? I was in the Wiz.
That's your claim to fame.
Right. It's like that one baby.
Me in. I was in that.
I was in the Wiz. I mean, you know, it was only in there for a second. It was in there for 1 second. Literally 1 second.
If that shit don't work for Robin Givens, it's not going to work for you.
Look at, thank you, giving Lena Horne the googly eyes, because one of those babies was in love with Lena Horne, honey.
I know, and I thought they were just so cute.
She was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And just like little smile on the baby face. I said, oh, look at that baby. This baby got good taste.
There was a baby at the beginning too when they all came to the house and they were all googly eyed over. They brought this baby, and I was like, "Oh, that baby!" And then again, I was like, "That baby is my age."
Literally,
that's a middle-aged
ass. That's a grown-ass baby. So then, everybody realizes, oh, you've had it all along, right?
And I felt so bad for the Wiz because he just wanted to go home too.
But no, because you were a deceitful bastard.
No, she said, I don't know what's in you. You have to figure that out for yourself. Aww. But he had a tear going and everything, and I was like, oh.
Was that one of the... You said that was one of the movies where he first started wearing his mustache?
It was the movie where he first started wearing.
Okay, because I do remember movies after that with him with a mustache. Mm-hmm. So I wonder what movies he had done prior to that.
Oh, he's done a few because Scott was watching one, and you don't have to cut his name.
Oh, okay.
My husband's name is Scott. I was watching one, and it was with him and Yaphet Kotto and somebody else. And he didn't have the mustache, and I was like, "That don't look right."
It don't. It doesn't.
I was like, "There's too much face there."
Yeah,
I don't like all that face.
But what I just thought was so interesting is that after she clicked her heels together 3 times, boom.
How did she know to click them 3 times too?
Right.
Like,
Didn't
no
she
one said.
She didn't say click them 3 times?
She didn't. She's like, you've had it in you all along to go home, and did she just clicked her heel 3 times?
No, she did. She
Did
did
she?
say, yes, she did. I heard her say it, and she did say it. I remember her specifically saying it because then Dorothy repeated it. All I had to do was click my heels together 3 times. Did you know? Maybe she didn't say 3 times, but I know she said to click her heels together.
I think
know
she
that
said,
much.
it's like, I had it in me all along to go home.
No, she said that
The
there.
clear
I
heel
remember
clicking?
specific at the very beginning of the song.
So listen, I was like a glass and a half of wine into this.
Yeah, no,
So
at the
there's
very
very
beginning of the
possible
song, the Glinda the Good Witch said you have to click your heels together. I
Okay,
don't remember
got you.
her saying if she had to do it 3 times, but I
Right.
remember her saying at the very beginning of the song, like in the first
The
verse.
song. That's what it
Yes,
was.
she said
'Cause I
she
was
had to-
just waiting for the woo, yeah. 'Cause I
Yes,
fucking love
at
that.
the very beginning of the song, she said, "Yes, all you have to do is click your heels together." And then Dorothy repeated it and said,
Gotcha.
all I had to do was click my heels together." And I feel like they said 3 times or something like that.
Right.
But when she clicked her heels together, poof, it was over.
Just over.
She was. We didn't get no fanfare.
Nothing.
Nothing. Lord Jesus. She had Toto in her arms, and she was turned back facing the house.
And she was like, Scarecrow, who? I don't know them niggas.
She didn't look around or nothing, Lord Jesus.
Nothing.
She said, "It's cold out this motherfucker," and went right back inside.
She's like, let me get in this house.
And they were like, roll credits.
Yeah, that's- we don't know if she took that job.
We don't know nothing. We don't know if anybody was like, "Girl, you've been gone a long time." But no, none of that.
She ain't told nobody, and you were there, and you were there. She was like, fuck this shit, I'm home,
And fuck these
and
niggas.
I'm done.
But I think my first favorite, I think Brand New Day is my second favorite, but my first favorite song out of that entire shindig is Home. By all
Yes.
means, by every stretch of the imagination.
And I love both of them, because Diana Ross, because if you notice, when she was singing it, I don't think she was acting. She was feeling that shit.
I'm certain she was.
And
her
I just
eyes were
loved
glistening
it.
all through the
Yes.
movie, though. So
Well, that's
she was
true.
on the verge of tears all throughout that movie. But one of my favorite versions of it is Stephanie Mills, because that's the one that I grew up with, and whenever I sing it, that's the version I'm singing. But Jasmine Sullivan has a fantastic version of that fucking song.
To the internet.
She sang that. She sang Home for like a school talent show or some shit like that. That's where everybody was like, hold on a second. This bitch. And I think literally, I think she was like either between 9 and 12 years old when she sang that song. And people were like, hold up. Like that voice was incredible. So, but yes, so saying all of that, now we've kind of talked it through the movie, but yes, that was a dark movie from the jump. And I mean, literally lighting wise, it was a dark movie. And I'm wondering now that I'm even saying that, if it was the technology, because they didn't come out with the proper technology to light black skin up until literally less than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I made a note of that about the 70s special effects and CGI. But no, that's a very good point, because it was like, just even remember back in the day, us going to take family photos with our family.
Yes.
And we end up looking like fucking Sambo.
Right.
Just
right.
teeth and eyes.
Right.
And I was like, y'all can't fix this?
Right. Basically, all of the filmography is that I know I'm getting this wrong.
Nope, you got it
was
right.
based on white skin, and so all the coloring, all the lighting, the way that the film was processed,
Yep.
but I know I'm saying this wrong, and I know it starts with the Chromecast or the chrome something having to do with color, pigmentation, and
Yes.
all
I
of
could
that
look
stuff,
it up,
and the
but I don't
exposure.
care enough.
I can't. Yeah, it's not coming to me either. But all of that was also based on white skin, and it really wasn't until literally less than 10 years ago that
Right.
they changed it so that it would
They could
So
give
that-
us the right color.
so that
and
they
then-
could give black folks the right color.
We're not even talking
And that-
about makeup artists.
And that
Right.
even lends itself to why Glenda looks so ethereal. because of the lighting, and she, her skin was lighter.
That makes sense.
And I think that they also put Vaseline on the lens for her.
I'm sure they did.
Sure.
Yeah.
Literal Vaseline on the lens. But
her
yes,
costume looked itchy though.
It sure did.
That bothered me.
Did it really?
It's always bothered me.
Very
I don't
pretty.
like the close up.
I mean, it was very pretty, but yeah, I bet you she was like, "Get this motherfucker off of me." But yes, that is our review on The Wiz. Everybody go check it out if you haven't seen it. Tell us what you think about it, and we will be more than happy to have these same discussions with you. And let us know if you get any different insight than that which we had. Andy, is you gonna pop it?
I'm gonna pop it.
Ooh, you gonna pop it?
I'm gonna pop it.
We finna pop it.
Ooh.
Pop it, baby. See, we didn't do Beyonce this time. Go ahead.
And I actually worked really hard not to do that.
I know, me too. I was trying to get away from
mind.
it. I know. I'm about to get maybe one of those like clickers. They'll be like, that's popping it.
Is that the sound?
You have the theme song, so you can put it in there.
I got the theme song.
Mm-hmm. I sent it to you. Her Pop It theme song.
So there goes my baby mama. This is all about Keke Palmer and Darius Jackson.
Man, let's talk about that shit.
So on July 4th, Keke went to go see Usher wearing a sheer black dress. She got a thong on. Mm-hmm. She looked good, especially for just having a baby.
She looked amazing.
She looked fantastic.
Now, you're right. It was a sheer dress. Okay. You can see everything under that dress. Yes.
Everything.
Eartha.
So a video was posted that went viral of Usher singing "There Goes My Baby" to Keke, and she sang along a little bit too. It was a cute little video.
And they were wrapped in a warm embrace.
They'd had their arms kind of around each other, but it wasn't.
Nuh-uh. She threw both arms over that nigga.
At one point, yeah.
Yes, and was like dancing with them. Yes, but that's part of the show.
It is. I mean, they know who they are. They're both in the limelight. They know what people are looking for.
Exactly.
Right. So, I mean, it wasn't like he rubbed her on her ass when she turned around.
Thank
He
you.
looked at it.
Who didn't?
Exactly.
We all looked at that shit.
I'm looking it up now so that I can look at it.
I too shall look at Keke Palmer's booty.
So then her partner, Darius Jackson, responded to the video saying, "It's the outfit, though. You a mom."
Nigga.
So after that, he received a lot of backlash. Like, some people were on his side, but he got a lot of backlash. So he doubled down in a second tweet and he said, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe." Now, I find it funny that he has standards and morals and calling her his wife when they're not married and they had a kid out of wedlock.
Did he say wife?
Yes. He said, "I doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids."
Okay. See, I really hope that they didn't get married.
Yeah, she had her
honey, she had the whole ass
and it looks amazing.
And it is. It looks fantastic. Now,
I would literally kill people
to have that booty
look like that.
Thank you.
Especially after a baby. God.
Now, see, go ahead. You have more to say.
So, in response to, now she didn't really respond to him, but what she did say is she posted another picture of her outfit and she said, "I wish I'd taken more pictures, but we were running late. I'm telling y'all right now, if you haven't seen Usher, you must go. He was so fabulous, giving theater Atlanta down, tips and tricks, and just absolutely iconic. I was truly inspired as a performer. I whooped some ass in spades too. Where's the pic of us all together with the king himself?" And he responded to her Instagram post and said, "The big boss, thank you for coming." So neither one of them acknowledged what Darius said.
Good.
Which is great. But then, so Threads is the new Twitter response from Facebook. So Usher then posts on Threads saying, "Am I trending yet?" And that's all he said, right? Because being shady. And I love that he was poking fun at it. So just for background, Keke and Darius, they're both 29, and they started dating in 2021. And then they welcomed their son, Leotis Adrelton Jackson, in February of 2023.
I don't like that name. But
I don't,
that's
but
just
that's, there has to be a reason for the name.
Leotis. It sounds like he's like one
old,
generation from slavery.
Well, and they made a mention when they posted his name that it has, because it was during Black History Month, and so it had something in relation to that. Now, I didn't delve deep into the name, but it had some significance there.
No, I get it. It still sounds like his daddy was a slave.
and to Jubal. And I figured it's like, okay, that has to be a family name of some sort. And they were like, we're trying to keep this name in the family. So, okay, do what you got to do.
Right. So the Jasmine brand actually reported in 2022 that Jackson's ex, Taylor Marie Sandova, accused him of pressuring her to get an abortion. And she allegedly, it's now deleted on TikTok, but she posted, when he gets you pregnant, presses you to have an abortion, and 3 weeks later is booed up with Keke Palmer.
This nigga.
Right.
Ooh.
Is that not some shit?
Oh, ooh. I did not know that part.
Yes. So as of Thursday of this week, Keke and Darius don't follow each other on Instagram. Then my second update for Thursday.
I don't even know who the fuck Darius is. And I'm gonna cancel the fuck out
right.
of
And
his
I'm
ass.
And I'm like, and I honestly, truly. Go ahead. Go. So many words.
I know y'all ready. So and then the second update for Thursday, July 6th, Darius deleted his Twitter and Instagram accounts.
Oh yeah, I bet you did, nigga.
And then on Friday, he's back on IG, but he had wiped every photo of Keke.
Oh yeah.
From it. Now the pictures of his son remain, but everything of Keke is gone. Then my second update from Friday is that Keke responded. She posted a video of her and her son, and her caption was, "One thing is certain and one thing is true. I'm a mother through and through." And she's saying, "Isn't she lovely?" She said, "To all moms out there, how did your baby change you? Mine empowered me on such another level. My perspective changed because when my baby is good, I'm great. Look at that face, gratitude galore." And then she also mentioned that she has new merchandise out that says, "I'm a mother and Stevie to that bullshit." So I'm Stevie to that bullshit. So she's like
Stevie,
yeah,
to that bullshit.
I think that's in regards to Wonder.
Oh, Stevie Wonder. Oh, that's lovely. I'm gonna go purchase that right now. Where is it?
I believe it's on her website. But so she is not addressing everything fully, but the way she's handling it is perfect.
It is.
It's absolutely perfect.
And that is, you know what? That is so right about that. And okay, can we talk about it now?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Because I was about to say, I wonder if you had more to tell us. No, that right there is delicious information to know. Because my thought was, when he said it first, and I was like, "Nigga, who are you?"
Right.
Okay. First thing I said,
we ain't never heard of your ass until you got with Keke.
You. And the fact is, if you know Keke at all, she ain't letting no nigga run her.
That's right.
Do you understand me?
That's right.
Do you know her even a little bit?
Right.
And then for you to have the audacity to take, there it is.
Yep.
I'm getting that shirt today. For you to have the audacity to get your nigger ass on fucking Twitter of all places and tweet that shit. Nigga, do you not know who the fuck I am?
Right.
I'm motherfucking Keke Palmer.
Right.
And everybody already knows.
I've been here since Akila the
Thank
Bee.
you.
That's right. That's right.
And the confidence that I have is like outstanding.
Yeah, that's one thing you know about her.
Thank you. I've got Lizzo size confidence.
Absolutely.
And then you're going to sit up there and try to rein me in public, no less.
On a public
Bitch, I'll stomp a mud hole into your fucking ass.
Right.
I know that's what she did. I know she came the fuck home and was like, "Get your shit."
Right.
And because I know you didn't, and I am who I am, and you sit up there and you say something like that about me, like you own me, nigga. Who the fuck did you think I was? Bitch, I'm not your.
You are a mother. You're
And
goddamn right.
You
I'm a sexy motherfucker.
You. Right.
I
am a mother, and I will always be a mother. But what I am first is a woman.
That's right.
What I am first is me.
It's my own motherfucking woman.
Yeah.
And you think that I'm going to sit up there and give over who I am to you?
Right.
You weird, my boy.
Right.
Oh, that shit was girl. And you know what? And I absolutely adore the way that she has handled all this
Absolutely.
shit. She is not addressing it. She's not saying nothing.
Nope.
But you can see clearly that she's like, no, I don't delete that nigga deleted me. I deleted him.
And she capitalizing on that shit.
Yes.
Merchandise perfect.
And here, look, I'm going right now. Where's this shirt at, girl? Shop. Here we go. There it is. I'm about to go get it right now.
And this is her other shirt. I'm a mother.
Thank you. Thank you. And she was so happy about that baby and that relationship because she had just previously, the day before, said something to the effect of, man, I love my nigga.
That's right.
Something to
she
that
did.
effect.
Yep.
And then
he pulled this shit.
I said, oh, and that's the problem. You sit
Why
up there.
men great till they gotta be
great.
That's right.
And that's the thing. Why
are men? That's it. Just why are men?
That's it. We ain't gotta say nothing else. It's like, and you knew coming into this situation that we had no idea who you were, so you were going to be Mr. Keke Palmer,
right?
You knew that when you came in.
He thinks he's somebody because I think it's his brother who's an actor. And he's like a fitness trainer or some shit.
And heard of that name.
But I have never heard of him. And right, like
so,
it's not you.
So again, you are going to be Mr. Keke Palmer,
right?
And it's okay. It's okay. But your fucking ego sat up there and fucked you up,
right?
It really did.
Because then you sat up there and pulled a gender card on her ass, talking about that's not even the word I'm looking for, really. But it's to sit up there and be like
gender role,
gender role, or any of that type of shit. You're not empowering her. You're sitting up there trying to take her power. Sitting up there talking about this is an outfit though. You're a mother, yes, nigga. And like, where the fuck are you to sit up there? I know you did not sit up there and try to put that shit on me,
right? Just
you're a father.
Yeah, and
so why you put all this shit on Twitter? You a father.
Thank you. Right. And you still be jerking off in the tub. Like, what the fuck? What does that have to do with
what daddies do?
Thank you.
I don't know.
And then to add the scandal of his ex.
Right.
Because she was pregnant and he was pushing for her to have this abortion.
Which she did.
And she did. And then he
goes and be with Keke Palmer. And it was interesting because I saw on, I can't remember what interview it was that I saw. I feel like it was Hot Ones, where she was talking about how she met him and how she was so excited because he was like, who, me? Like that type of thing. And so then she, goes through this pregnancy with this nigga, and then apparently, I don't know if they're shacked up or what, but the fact is that, she's caping for this nigga, and then he turns around and pulls this shit right here.
Shit.
That lets us know clearly you're not on the right, we're not on the same path.
No,
we're not on the same track here. And the fact that you sat up there and tried to
thank you
way. And you sat up there and you tried to sabotage me, and you were basically being a nigga. You were being a basic bitch about this shit. And I know for a fact with Keke Palmer and the confidence that bitch has, you have to be extraordinary.
Okay. Absolutely.
You can't be one of these basic bitch. You can't be Future up in this motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? You can't be Future up in this bitch.
She said what she said.
You can't do it. You can't be that, that conservative thinking type nigga that is going to be out here. You have to be extra understanding because you know that this bitch is way more famous than you. And every time they see you together, you will be Mr. Keke Palmer. Absolutely. Just like fucking A$AP Rocky is Mr. Rihanna Fenty.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Just like Jay-Z is Mr. Beyonce Knowles Carter. Do you understand me?
Yeah, absolutely.
And them niggas are fine.
Right? They are thriving.
Yes, they are.
Them niggas are fine. They're like,
Can you sad that Cardi B is with? See, I don't even know his name. I just know it's Mr. Cardi B.
Offset.
Takeoff.
Yeah.
Offset. No,
Wait,
Offset. No, Takeoff is the one that died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Offset.
I don't know that's Mr.
Thank
Cardi
you.
B.
That's as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, can you imagine though if Jay-Z actually tweeted some shit like that to Beyonce?
Oh no, that shut my shit right up.
I watched her whole body figure out what the hell was going on.
She just malfunctioned.
She did. She glitched. It was like the Matrix or some shit.
Because see, to a degree, he didn't tweet that shit. But he did actually kind of, when he cheated on her.
Right.
That was him trying to be like, I'm the man in this motherfucker.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
And
And Beyonce said, here's where you fucked up.
Right.
Because
you getting a whole album.
She was like, because
you
you thought that I was gonna sit up here and let you cheat on me,
right?
Nigga,
I will fucking cut your dick off. They call me Lorena Bobbitt up in these streets,
and I will be gone and not give a fuck. I won't look back.
Me and this baby,
the left,
yeah. Me and this baby, we gonna be all right. We gonna live a good life.
You forgot who the fuck I is.
Thank you. My Woley's about to stroll up. Okay, she was not playing with that nigga at all, and he realized that he was about to lose everything that he had caught up with her. Mm-hmm. Holy shit! Do you understand?
He did not want that beehive.
No, that
is not what you.
That's
want.
what you're never going to get, and I really truly believe. But with them, it was a spiritual thing. So Beyonce was like, no, nigga, the gods have said, and this is how the fuck this is going to go. Right. But with Keke, they don't have that kind of thing going on there. Yes, she got with this nigga and she thought that he was amazing and all this, that, and the other. But he just basically showed his true colors. It was just a matter of time.
It literally happened.
It was just a matter of time. And that was so wild to me. And my first thought when I heard about that tweet was, why would you put that on Twitter? Like, why would you say something like that out loud?
Yeah, why wouldn't you wait till she got home and said, I mean, even you shouldn't even said anything, but if you were going to address it
to her.
And why would you? What
was your end goal?
Yeah, like what were you expecting to happen?
Right.
Like, did you think that everybody would be like, that she would be like, oh, let me run home and put on a sweater. Right. Nigga, did you think that was what was going to happen?
That he was going to shame her?
And thank you. That's it exactly. He shamed her. He tried to shame her. And the fact of the matter is, of course, it backfired on him in ways unimaginable. But I feel like he felt like she was disrespecting him.
Right.
But it's
you're not that big. I mean, you dating or whatever, but you're not that big on her mind that she's thinking about, how can I disrespect him?
Yes.
Right. And she's just being her.
Right.
And here's the thing. You're not about to step on my career in any way, shape, or form. I am a performer. That nigga's a performer. We were performing together. And so, but what happened was you got insecure and you thought some shit and you put this thing out there and now it's a debacle.
Right.
Go ahead.
No. So I read, and it was funny to me that someone connected these dots together, and take it as you will. Someone mentioned that Keke was Chili in the Lifetime movie, and he used to be with Chili.
Oh, was he really?
They were.
Yeah.
He's the one that cheated.
Yeah,
Usher. Yeah,
Usher was with Chili.
Oh, Usher. Oh, I thought you were talking about Darius.
No.
What?
No. So they're clicking together that because Keke, was in the movie. So he was looking at her like, there's Chili. So people are making
Chili 2.0.
Right.
That's funny.
So people are just calling that out as irony. But I love the way he's handling it. I love the way she's handling it. It's perfect. And this guy's digging his own grave. So it's
absolutely. But that shit
somebody should have told him. Somebody should have taught him.
I think that he thought that was going to go a whole nother way. And then the fact that he had the audacity to double down on it, Keke was like, oh,
okay,
bet.
Right.
If y'all don't stop raising these toxic ass men,
right?
Because they're only hurting themselves. If you love your baby, teach them not to be toxic.
It's right.
Because they're gonna get hurt in the process.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for that, Andy. I've been wanting to talk about that. And this is the Lord working through me, working through you, girl. Yes. Andy, or rather, Angela, tell them where they can find us.
Usually I would tell you could find us at multiplegabwounds.com, but I am redoing the website, so we're down for a little bit. But you can always email us, and we would love to hear from you.
Yep, we talked about that at the top of the show. Yep. If you need a friend,
email us.
Yeah, we're all going through some shit.
We actually check that shit.
Yeah.
So it is, email us at mgwlistener@gmail.com. And do that. We'd love to hear from you. The website will be back up in 2 or 3 weeks. We're an independent podcast. which we broadcast. Podcast. Anyway, we're independent, so we do everything ourselves. So it's going to take me a couple of 2 or 3 more weeks to really to get the website where we want it to be. But you'll enjoy it. I
exactly.
promise.
So have patience with us hoes, and we'll see you motherfuckers next week. I've been Toni.
I'm Angie.
I'm Andy.
And we'll see y'all bitches next week. Bye.
Bye. Titty holes. Titty pop.
Or
No.